Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope, and a new Nigeria is certainly possible. Now, good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending your time zone. Today, we've come again to have a discussion on what is happening in Nigeria, especially as economic hardship of the policies of Chief Tinubu is really sending Nigerians into their bended knees. Nigerians languish as food prices soar in different parts of the country. And we'll be coming on the things that are trending as Nigerian youths had declared a nationwide protest against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to be held on Friday, the 5th of July, 2024. According to the people who are, the conveners of this very particular event, they are looking at that very something to be to happen across all the EFCC offices across the federation. And the stage for this very demonstration against the EFCC is a response to the alleged unprofessional and reckless actions by the EFCC, including violations of human rights, the major fundamental human rights, and unprofessional conduct by the operatives of the EFCC. Protesters are demanding comprehensive reforms within the EFCC, including respect for the constitutional rights of citizens, an end to assault on Nigerians, and more professional investigations to be carried out before this. And this is coming from the 99% of press. That is a PDOM Nigeria. Those are the people who are bringing this up. This very protest will hold simultaneously at all EFCC zonal commands across Nigeria. From 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., protesters will submit letters and display placards highlighting the need for reform. The goal is to push for a reformed EFCC that operates professionally like the FBI and respect the rights of all Nigerians, whether the young, the middle class, and above. And I will quote them. We are calling for the reform of EFCC because anyone could be a victim of their unlawful arrest and flagrant abuse of human rights. Well, you have to stay tuned for this very update as they gear up. But what we have to say, of course, we will be bringing to your attention what again His Excellency Peter Obi has said concerning the multiple budget implementation that is going on, and of course, the blasting that he said that this administration is doing, which is very, very wrong. And the other things that His Excellency mentioned, why we also get to the reactions coming out from the presidency. As His Excellency said that all the available evidence has confirmed that Tinubu's administration is implementing a dual, multiple national budget concurrently. But before we get into all this, I have with me in the studio to have a discussion on this. I have Peaceful Peace and, of course, a new and brand Mercy who is joining us just today.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, Obidient Worldwide. Welcome to the show.
Good day, well-being Nigeria. It's nice having you here.
Okay, so wherever you are, you're watching us, just make sure that you like, share, and subscribe if you're a new user to promote, because well-meaning Nigerians and Obedience Worldwide always look up for the Obidient Family TV to give them the official opposition on the wrong things done by this government. Well, let's start with the presidency, as we know that His Excellency Peter Obi has tackled them. Now, while Obi has picked the holes in what he described as the implementation of 4 national budgets concurrently, describing it as a recipe for chaos and frivolity, the presidency, which is Tinubu, denied that the federal government was implementing these 4 budgets and accused His Excellency Peter Obi for false claims that Budget IT spread misinformation and he got it from there. The country director of budget at Gabriel Okowo has raised the alarm in the statement issued day before yesterday that the Nigerian government was planning to concurrently implement 4 national budgets. And you guys can recall that Ningi had emphasized a double budget, and that's why he was suspended from the Senate. Well, according to His Excellency Peter Obi, said all available evidence has confirmed that the Nigerian government is implementing 4 national budgets concurrently. This is in blatant disregard for fiscal responsibility, transparency, and accountability. It is also a recipe for chaos, confusion, and catastrophe. This intentional action will lead to frivolous items to be approved, budgets competing with essential projects for limited resources, further exacerbating the suffering of the Nigerian people. His Excellency Peter Obi continued to indicate that the leaders are out of touch with reality and lack the competence to manage our nation's finances effectively. And in quotes, he said, unfortunately, this deliberate act of physical recklessness is being undertaken by elected representatives of the people, thereby betraying one of the cardinal pillars of democracy. Leaders are elected to responsibly manage public resources in an organized way. I respectfully appeal and in fact demand that this situation be reversed immediately in preference for a more responsible and transparent approach to budgeting. We must prioritize the needs of the Nigerian people, not the selfish interests of a few, His Excellency Obi explained in his tweet. But of course, as we know, in a swift reaction, Tinubu's cabinet members and himself debunked the claim that it was running 4 budgets in a fiscal year. We already know that the reason why that Ningi, a senator, was suspended a few months ago is as a result of him coming out in a BBC interview to say that there are 2 budgets being implemented. And again, now Budget It has come out to say it is actually 4. And of course, there is no smoke without fire in Nigeria. Well, before we get to this, let's come back to studio, have this very discussion. Let's start with this very EFCC issue. Peaceful peace. If you recall, anywhere you get to a roadblock, let's even start with the police. The target is the young Nigerians who possess a car or who own a laptop. Police will stop young men on the road and start searching their car for laptops. I don't know if carrying a laptop happens to be a crime in Nigeria. Now, EFCC, on the other hand, which are a byproduct of the police, go into different hotels searching for young men who has gone there probably to, do their work and, for self-employment that every youth is getting themselves involved now because they want to either earn working for American company, British company, or let's say offshore companies. But they are working here, they are being paid from abroad. Now, we found out that at different times, what EFC does is break into hostels at schools and at night, break into hotels and arrest people and then position them to be criminals. If not, we are not saying that we don't have the criminal people in our society, but we are talking about one, there will be no warrant of arrest. We see them brutalizing. As a matter of fact, there was a video trending last week throughout. We may not be able to show this video for YouTube violations, but of course, what we are talking about is a fact that everyone. So, if they say they want to do a peaceful protest in Nigeria, wouldn't we be encouraging youths to do a peaceful protest because the law permits them to do that?
Well, thank you, Mr. Kanu. What I really have to say here be say the EFCC actions against the citizen, now we go call charcoal, kettle, calling charcoal black. I be had to take put them for people where they talk for English. And now them now we get cockroach for their cupboard. The accused person say they do this, now them be criminal. Now them we be say their hands no clean. They accuse other people, because if you know they into something, you not gonna know say person they do that kind of thing. Now coming back to the question where you asked me, now they go stop innocent people on the road where we say they go carry laptop, they go see them with car, they go say yes, they do this, they do that. Now how would they know say these people, they know they hustle hard for themselves? The other day, Tinubu government, they signed 473 million for your wife where you use travel. Why they no go there, arrest all these people where we say their hands no good, their hands no clean? Why they know they arrest them? Tell them, say, see, when they loot our money, the citizens are crying, there is hunger in the land, there is no food, there is no provision of light, there is no provision of electricity.
They even talk about that one, yes. Myself. But make I remind you, say, this thing where you just talk, this thing just remember something for me. God's will Ababio will be the Senate chairman, will be the president. Then don't EFCC, in there for EFCC watch list. Then don't invent and come, Greek come. You understand? I don't know whether the law they different for senators. I go tell you, Yaya Bello, the chairman of EFCC himself, don't talk say, if he no arrest and prosecute Yaya Bello, saying go resign. We never see the man resign and Yaya Bello still there for Nigeria. They never talk say he come out.
Exactly what I'm saying, because they know what they do. Now them know the kind cockroach where they their cupboard, and they know they arrest all those top officials where they know say their hands no clean. Now innocent masses where they hustle hard for their money, where they go out there, they try to make ends meet, despite the fact say the country no good though. All of this way that they do now unprofessional act, because if you are trained and they know say this work, they train them well. Before you arrest person, you show the person warrant of arrest, say COC, and you forget enough evidence before you go arrest person. Don't be say you go just go invade in people's privacy, just they hit people anyhow. It not really make sense, because I think people should, if they say they want to protest, let them go out and protest. And I believe say go end up like the end SARS way they do, go they kill people up and down. Make the protest be a peaceful protest and let them take action, because this thing is getting out of hand. It's a slap on humanity. When we say me now, I fit down the waka on the road, person go just stop me, tell me say, this one you do that one, without showing me say, you do this thing true, you just carry me, bundle me. The other day I hear story of couple where we say they just recently wedded and they did for their hotel room based on say they do their honeymoon. They just invaded, carry them, bundle them. The other man and the guy wey supposed travel, they carry them. Like, who does that? Like, it's getting out of hand, and we can't. I think I see. No beside the I see say you they vibrate. You just they hot now. And but I want to remind you say, this EFCC they leave the big fish where they for river where we say they go catch. Then they go begin, and the use where would they talk? You just mentioned something where touch my liver kume now, and waiting he touch na cord. This same youth will be said in the church, if they go sit down for their house, talk say, oh, because of answer, say then kill our people, say I no go come out, I come protect. If I hear pain from anybody mouth again, because now when they cause the thing where we say if they do us, now we they cause them. We go see something, then go they choke us. We know if you come out, come talk. Now we no talk say make people come out, come begin the scatter people items or things like that. Then call them say they won't come out do peaceful protest. Make it day that peaceful. I then talk say now from 11 to 3. You understand me? Yeah.
Now working hour be that one. And now across all EFCC offices across Nigeria, meaning say you don't need to begin go Abuja, because EFCC day your state.
Yeah.
All the states of the federation, we get youths will be say then they do their legitimate business. If you not say you they do legitimate business for they use your computer, they do your legitimate business, make you come out. Make you no talk say, oh, if I come out, something I go buy or something like that go happen to you. No, it not be like that. See people for Kenya, as they start, they no start to begin to destroy something. No. Now when them don't begin they do some kind thing before that kind thing escalate. So, but constitution give right, say if something no dey good, where we say you need to protect, may it come out peacefully, make you for protest. So now that very one, nine with the talk, so that anywhere where we say you dey, we talk say peaceful protest they okay. If you be young man, we be say, I know say they don't, if they never touch you, stop you, stumble on you, make you know say that because of say they never get your time or they never see how they go take catch you, come collect your money, because different times when they catch you, you go use money, come settle them. They myself they corrupt, pass you where then they talk about. So if you want protest, whether they won't do reform or they won't call them another name, or even think say this hunger, where we say they bite and you they use your computer, they do better thing. Make you come out, do peaceful protest wherever on a day. Nigeria and all of us, when we keep our mouth shut, you know go do this thing. But make I just give small this thing for our newcomer. Mercy, make you for chook him mouth for this very matter, because if we talk finish, you know let them tweak you. Now no go hear how her voice take be.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kanu. I go talk say EFCC make una dey more professional for una work. Make una fit dey do una work in a very professional way. Wetin I mean, if you must hold someone or if you must get a suspect, please be very, very sure of who your suspect is. Single the persons out and also get a concrete evidence in order to fight this cyber security or cyber crimes or whatever. And please, without assaulting innocent people, because this is actually very bad. I can imagine myself, all of a sudden, someone stops me and, you know, that is actually very bad. So please, EFCC, please be very, very professional with your work. And also for the youths, it's actually a very good call that we all come out, or the youth, the young guys, everybody come out, because anyone can be a victim. Come out for this protest in order to get a better Nigeria.
Peaceful protest. Thank you. Peace. So let's look at the other thing we have on the table, which has to deal with the budget, the double implementation of budget. As you know, Ningi don't come back to Senate, and as Ningi come back to the Senate, now we say, waiting in talk, the thing really choked them, it choked them. But anyway, let's know that the National Assembly only approved the implementation of the capital components of the 2023 budget, and 2023 supplementary should be extended to December 2024 to achieve its objective. Our country can't achieve sustainable development when federal, state, and local governments focus on only consumptive expenditure, which is essentially what recurrent expenditures represent. It is the capital expenditure that drive economic growth, strengthen private sector output, and create employment opportunity for all citizens in Nigeria. As a reputable civic organization, we know that Budget NG cannot afford to be flippant and be unduly sensational. Well, His Excellency Peter Obi has jumped on this very thing, of course, to to give the information that this very implementation of double or multiple budget is this thing. You were here last time when we were discussing peaceful peace, that Ningi suspension, you were here, everybody were shouting, every day we keep talking about it. At the end of the day, he died. That is what I'm talking about. That died is the talk, it ended. Even when he came back, it was no longer sensational. But now, Peter Obi is bringing it out because there's already people who are saying, so having multiple budget, people might not understand it. But I will encourage people to actually go to Peter Obi's page to articulate what he wrote. Because when he's writing, he's speaking his mind, and he signed it as from him as Peter Obi. And of course, he said that valuable information. And of course, having said that, Peter Obi also, during this very weekend, also made mention of the unlawful detention of Maazin Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, what he simply said is that the government should obey the law. You understand?
Yeah.
Because the law as a noun means that he's a free man, because the court said he's acquitted, except that they bring up another trumped up charges. But I will tell you that Reno has jumped on what His Excellency Peter Obi said. That is Reno Omokri, and of course Dr. Mo has said that he's a narcissist. Those kind of people who just twist what His Excellency Peter Obi. We'll be bringing you the video of what His Excellency said, and of course that very tweet by Reno. But let me start by what Dr. Mo articulated, which is that Reno, talking to you directly, Reno Omokri, your statement is a reprehensible and repugnant assault on His Excellency Peter Obi's character, deliberately crafted to slander, defame, and besmirch his reputation. It is a malicious and divisive attack designed to deceive and manipulate and to create discord and strife. Peter Obi has consistently condemned violence and killings, including those of soldiers and civilians. His call for Nnamdi Kanu's release is based on principle and not endorsement of terrorism. You conveniently omit Peter Obi's forthright support for the NSAS victims and his advocacy for their release. He has demonstrated resolute commitment to human rights and justice, unlike you, Reno Omokri, some politicians who exploit tragedies for political and economic gain. Nnamdi Kanu and his inflammatory rhetoric and actions are reprehensible, including his attack on Mr. Peter Obi and calling him names. However, His Excellency Peter Obi's call for his release is a demonstration to his belief in due process and the rule of law. It is not about endorsing him or his views, but about upholding the principle of justice and fairness. Reno, we are talking to you directly. Your attempt to question Peter Obi's loyalty to Nigeria is laughable. His dedication to this country's unity and progress is steady and understandable. He has spoken out against violence and killings, including those perpetrated by both IPOB, Boko Haram bandits, ISWAP, MEND, Ansral, armed herdsmen, so many of them. He has continued to condemn the killings of soldiers, police, all uniform and non-uniform patriots and Nigerians every time, regardless of the location and the situation. Reno Omokri, you are distorting Peter Obi's demand for Kanu's release to fit your own political agenda, which is driven by divisiveness and narcissism. You are disregarding his long-standing commitment to human rights and justice, as well as your own previous support for Kanu's release. This hypocrisy and manipulation of facts to suit your narrative is very, very evident. His Excellency Peter Obi is loyal to Nigeria and its people, not to political expediency or personal gain. Your desperate attempt to tarnish reputation will continue to fail as Nigerians recognize his commitment to justice, equity, and unity of all Nigerians across board. Now, having spoken to you directly, Reno, of course, as we can see the tweet and all the other things that Reno has been doing. Now, let's get back to that very particular issue where His Excellency Peter Obi granted this interview and what actually came about this very discussion that we are having today, that Reno is just out of his world. Sometimes we don't want to waste our time talking about Reno Omokri, but of today we need to, because of the issue, the trending nature of this very comment. And we want some people who may not have the opportunity of listening to His Excellency's interview where Reno is attacking him from, to take this opportunity to listen to His Excellency Peter Obi, where he outlined different things on the interview, but making sure that his call for Nnamdi Kanu's release is based on the government to respect the rule of law. Cure ED, respecting the rule of law, but not like a call or a force or something like that. He has not spoken about Nnamdi Kanu much. So I will want us to take our time to listen to His Excellency Peter Obi's interview to see whether he did say those things that Reno is articulating at his post. Do listen to this as we come back. And when we come back to this, we will be talking more on the things that are happening in Nigeria, especially the hunger, and of course, the Obidient Family Cooperative Society that we usually bring to you in the evenings by 5 p.m. Do enjoy His Excellency Peter Obi's interview. And George, go to the comment section. Tell us what you think about Reno's comments and also what you heard His Excellency speak about this. Until we come your way again, let's take a listen.
The first primary work of government is security of life and property. It is the foundation in which people can actually live in a nation, because nobody can stay in an insecure place. And it is worrisome what is happening in Nigeria, waking up every day with killings, kidnappings, abductions, and everywhere, which has now made Nigeria one of the most insecure places on the surface of the earth. In fact, it's leading to a failed nation. And that requires an urgent attention of everybody. In the Southeast in particular, again, that is the same situation. As I thank the government for their effort, there's need to do more by all leaders to ensure that we tackle this menace. In the Southeast, I urge the various government members, I said, while thanking them, to come together as a family. There's need for the governors of the Southeast to work as a family, to be able to tackle that. I'm saying that from the little experience I had when we were there. It is important. And even checking the harsh economic conditions now, even in development and economic agenda, I want to see the Southeast governors work closely more as one, because they can do. And I believe they know each other, they can interact. We want to see them come together. We want to see them bring this entire zone together. And I'm preaching the same thing of other zones. While the federal government as far that overshadows everybody, the various zones should come together. In the Southeast in particular, it is very urgent. I'm again saying from my little experience, in which they can call meetings, even meetings at times of those of us who were there before, to come together and interact about a common purpose. This is very important. I don't see anything why his continued detention, quite frankly. Especially as the law, the courts have granted him bail. Government must obey the law. Rule of law is an intrinsic asset that we must cherish and live with. And I've said I'm going to discuss with every agitator. And I use the same opportunity to play to government to ensure that all those who are in similar conditions are released and discussed with. We're a democratic government. We shouldn't be doing things that are arbitrary and not within the law. I'm against riots. I'm against destruction of government assets. I'm not against peaceful protests. But it must be for reasons, not for interest. Often a time here you see protests being to satisfy a particular interest. It must be properly articulated. There's things that is happening that is against and properly directed. Properly articulated and properly directed. So you don't go. I recall when people were saying they're protesting against police or any other organization of government, and I said to them, no, let's deal with the leadership. If we have good leadership, their agents can be bad. But what happens here is that Nigerians say, oh, our problem is police, our problem is EFCC, our problem is ICPC, our problem is the army. No, the problem is the leadership. If the leadership is, if the leaders are competent, have the capacity, doing the right thing, their agents will toe in the line. And that is what I want. I want to see these things that are properly organized. I want to see people listening. And I'm using the same opportunity to say, all those who are being held because of, say, NSAS, protests and everything, or because of freedom of speech or journalists, should please be released immediately. We're a democratic country. People have a right under the Constitution to express themselves freely under freedom of speech. They have also rights to peacefully protest, and we must listen to them. We must listen to those who say they are not happy. That's why it is a democratic nation. We should stop acting dictatorial and behaving as if it is not a democratic country. I know we're in a state capture, but then we should act in a manner that shows some decency. We politicians are preoccupied by election. That's not what I'm talking about. How do we reduce the price of food? Our people are dying of hunger. How do we make life conducive for the poor Nigerians? How do we make sure that people earn more money in order to live? How do we pull people out of poverty? That should be our concern, not forming mega party or this thing. If forming mega party is to be able to provide what I'm saying now, I'm all for it. If it is about state capture so we can start continuing the same consumption, no. But if it's to move it to production, yes.